Well, here we are. I said I would do it, and here I am doing it. All the Chaos Emeralds in Emerald Hill. I'm recording this long after the fact of certain stages. In fact, at the time of recording, I've recorded up to Oil Ocean in the actual perfect runs. Obviously, what takes the time on these videos is the alternative paths and video editing, which is what takes long. It seems to take longer than the actual playthroughs themselves. But I digress. This is All Emeralds in Emerald Hill. Somewhat appropriate name, really. And I'm recording this commentary in post-production because I could not muster up the enthusiasm to do it live. And that's for a couple of reasons. Namely, this wasn't a first attempt affair. In fact, it took quite a few attempts, actually. Because this is actually pretty damn hard. Not only that, it's also pretty dull as well, so you end up losing concentration halfway through the challenge, which is just... Yeah, this isn't the most fun you can have out of Sonic 2. If you're going to go after the Chaos Emeralds, I really do suggest you just do it organically, and don't attempt to make sure you get them all in the Emerald Hill. Sure, get as many as you can in Emerald Hill, sure. But getting them all in Emerald Hill, not really that recommended. It's just a big time sink in the first level. And to be honest, I never really liked playing as Super Sonic anyway, so there's that. I'm a bit fluey, so I'm probably going to be sounding a bit bunged up, as it were. And I've got to try and stop myself from sniffing. What Emerald did, we're already off topic. Brilliant start. What can I say about this? Well, Chaos Emeralds number 5, 6 and 7 are pains. They're pains in the arse. They really are quite hard. The unfortunate thing about Emerald Hill is there is a lot of things lying about, and there's a nice predetermined path order you can go in to get to the special stages. So at least the Emerald Hill portions aren't that bad. There's just a lot of backtracking. There's actually more star posts in Emerald Hill than you need in Emerald Hill, so you can afford to mess up at least once. Or was it twice? I can't quite remember. Once or twice you can afford to mess up if you're going after all the emeralds. But again, I personally don't recommend doing this. Now, I'm sure you know how the special stages work at this point. You collect so many rings. You go through checkpoints, you need a certain amount of rings to get past a checkpoint, yada blah 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 blah. There's different mazes, there's special stages which do different things every so often. They get steadily more and more difficult. And that's about it. That's about the extent of the commentary on special stages. There's more commentary on individual special stages in the actual perfect runs, because it just is. And I'm already forgetting what I've mentioned or what I haven't mentioned, so at the point of recording this, I've gotten up to Oil Ocean in the actual perfect runs, as in physically recording the videos. I just need to do the alternative paths, which certainly takes some time. It should be noted I'm also playing the level as though I was playing this as a perfect run, so no taking damage. I'm not quite sure why I'm backtracking so much actually, I don't think I have to. But when doing this you'll find you end up backtracking to the same old ring boxes. See those ring boxes up there I could have used, and I wasn't quite aware of them at the time. And I think this is the last special stage in Act 1. That was an interesting sound effect just then. I was also trying out a new emulator for this as well, just to see how well it held up, and I think I'm sticking with Gens Plus in future. Not that it wasn't a decent emulator, because it was just a bit of a hassle in places. Jeez. So I suppose I could might as well talk about something else, like the upcoming challenges in Sonic 2 Perfect Runs. Now, playing up to Oil Ocean, what was and wasn't a challenge was actually kind of surprising to me, seeing how I've played this game to death. But never necessarily under a no damage clause. And that's what changes your playing by a lot. Levels such as Oil Ocean and Mystic Cave in particular stand out as being really somewhat difficult. Even stages I thought I wouldn't have problems with. Was it Aquatic Ruin? Was it? Stage 3 ended up having more problems than I would conceive I would have had, seeing I was only stage 3. Stage 4 and 5 on the other hand, no problems. Funny how that goes, isn't it? Sonic 2 is interesting in that we don't actually have that many outtakes in certain levels. Also, there were none in Emerald Hill, and there aren't any in a couple of other stages as well. I'll let you find out for yourself which stages those were. And this is me failing repeatedly to get up onto a bloody platform, and then walking off. I did say I played this live, and I think this is my proof right here. And why am I going after those rings? I don't need them. Nearly fell off again. Oh dear. So yeah, the main reason I didn't do this commentary live is you'd have the same problem I'm having now, is finding things to talk about. Because there isn't a lot to talk about in these stages. You've seen one, you've seen them all. They occasionally do something different, but not really. These aren't really my favourite special stages in the series. I think they're kind of well, that was a close one. Yeah, I think I definitely prefer the special stages out of, say, Sonic 3, which I found more fun. But they still beat the special stages out of Sonic 1, so there's that. I guess the reason I don't like these ones is because they make you feel like you're on a roller coaster, and it just so all upsets the stomach, really. Particularly the really twisty ones, and you're trying to concentrate as well, it's just ugh. Well, coming up is the two hardest special stages in the game. And I think I mess up here. Yes, I do mess up here by not obtaining a set of rings, which means even more unnecessary backtracking. What can I say? I do notice my mistake. I do notice it before I hit this special stage. Yeah, I think I just noticed. I got 48 rings, not 50. For some reason I get into my head that doing the platform hop, which took several attempts, was the better idea of the two. Rather than just going and getting other rings. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. Yeah, get rid of that badnik. Pain in the arse. Speaking of pains in the arse, we've got special stage number 5. Or was this 5? I think this is 5. This is one of the hardest ones in the game. It just expects so much of you, and yeah, it just twists around like anything. Oh my goodness. You can't afford to mess up. Oh, here's the other problem I was having. Because I've decided taking damage in the special stages counted as taking damage. There were certain runs that were abandoned, which I could have otherwise salvaged, which didn't help my mood much. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning like anything. I'm not sure if that's coming up on microphone or anything, but I am yawning like anything. But I do appreciate it's these little lines of rings here. I think they're the best to get your ring total up. So I do appreciate whenever the special stages do that. Yeah, it was number 5, I can count. Basic maths, can do. I don't remember what I decided to do at this point. I decided to go back and... well, I'll go after the Stewart thing, which is the ring box in here. So I'll take the lower path, I think. Never did like the caves in Emerald Hill, actually. They always felt a bit luck-based. Now, the problem, I said I tried a different emulator, and the problem with this emulator is that it actually froze up when switching between certain screens, which is why there's so many sound skips in this video. This is the problem with the emulator, and I'm not sure why I didn't change out of it. Emulator I was using was Blisswalk, I think I do believe it was called. And it's one of those multi-system emulators, so it's like a jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing. But I thought I'd give it a shot, and it performed okay. I would still recommend other emulators over it though, such as Gens Plus. Here's the question, have I done this on the actual console before? Yes, once or twice. But in all fairness, if any time I ever wanted to do this on an actual console, most of the time I would just have used the glitch where you could just reset the game and you keep your Chaos Emeralds. Which is kind of a funny glitch, really. Under that circumstances, you don't actually have to learn to get good. Which could be why I'm having so many issues with the special stages in this game. Because I never really bothered with them. As I've said before, I don't really like playing as Supersonic. Whoa, that was close. Can't believe how many close calls I had in this run. So no, I'm not quite sure why I'm going as far back as I am. That was an interesting bit of collision detection there. Talking about things I hate, oh my goodness, I hate those coconut badniks. They're such a pain to deal with. Oh my goodness. I hate them. Well, here's the last special stage, and it's significantly easier than the previous two, but still not exactly easy. It's one of those ones where the first little bit is the hardest section of it. Basically, really easy to mess this bit up. Why it's so easy to mess up, I'm not quite sure. It's just that sometimes you don't get the right amount of rings. Yet here I got like 15 over the total I needed. Very bizarre one. And after this point, special stage just gets easy because it's a predictable pattern. Except about now, where it decides to stick to one side just to throw you off for a bit. Still, for the final special stage, this is surprisingly not that hard. Oh sure, there's this nonsense, but I've already gotten the ring total by this point. So I just concentrate on dodging the bombs. Badly timed there, Ace. Badly timed there, old Ace. I've got a vague idea where these bombs are coming from, but not an exact idea. And all Chaos Emeralds get. Now, if you're going to do this, I'd probably recommend doing it as Knuckles. Mostly because Knuckles gets a much easier time doing it. It's a lot less time consuming. A, he doesn't lose his rings upon entering a special stage, which is a big, big boon. And secondly, his ring totals on many of the special stages are actually lowered for whatever reason. So, it's much more feasible doing this with Knuckles. But with Sonic, it's an exercise in frustration. Oh, extra life. That was somewhat convenient. Extra life for the boss. But there we go, I still did it. Still done. Well, I hope you enjoyed that more than I enjoyed playing through it. Because I didn't enjoy playing through it at all. And I shall catch you for Chemical Plant Zone in the next video. Till then, I'll bid you a goodbye. And hope to catch you then.